All right, let's get right to it. We've got some major news breaking in the AI world today, and if you work in software or security, this is something you're definitely going to want to hear. A powerful new model just dropped, and believe me, it's a huge leap forward. And I'm not talking about some minor incremental update here. No, this is a brand new tool that's set to really push the boundaries for both software engineers and the folks on the front lines of cybersecurity. This is a big, big deal for anyone who builds or protects, well, pretty much everything we rely on digitally.
Okay, so let's break down exactly what this new tool is all about.
The new model is called GPT-5.2 Codex. Now, the key thing to understand is that this isn't your everyday general-purpose AI. It's what's known as an agentic model, which is a fancy way of saying it's highly specialized. It doesn't just follow a single command and stop. Nope. It can actually plan, use different tools, and work on its own to tackle really complex, professional-level coding and cybersecurity jobs. So think about the kind of programming work that's, well, a total grind. The really tough, long-haul stuff. This model is designed to be a reliable partner for those marathon sessions. We're talking about huge, complex jobs like refactoring massive code bases, untangling all that spaghetti code, or even migrating entire systems from one platform to another. It can do all that while keeping the entire project's context in its mind. So what's actually under the hood? What makes this version so much better? Let's take a look at the upgrades. And wow, the improvements are pretty wide-ranging. It's got a much better handle on those long, complicated code bases. It's way more reliable in Windows environments, which is a big plus, and no surprise, it's hitting state-of-the-art scores on the big industry benchmarks. But that last point on the list, that's the real headline here. Its cybersecurity skills have gotten a major boost. And you can really see that jump right here on this chart. It's not just a small bump. If you track its performance on these key cybersecurity tests, you see this steep, stair-step improvement with every single release. GPT-5 Codex was a leap. Then 5.1 was another big step up. And now with 5.2, we're seeing an even bigger jump. The pace of improvement is actually accelerating.
Okay, but this isn't just about benchmarks and lab tests. This power is already making a real-world impact. And that brings us to a really fascinating story, one that also shines a pretty bright light on the potential risks.
So check this out. Just last week, a security engineer was playing around with the previous version of this model, GPT 5.1. He was looking into a known issue in React, which, as you know, is one of the biggest programming frameworks on the planet. He was really just trying to see if the AI could lend a hand. Well, what happened next was pretty stunning. He basically concluded that these advanced AIs aren't just a little bit helpful. No, they can fundamentally accelerate the process of finding and fixing security flaws in the software that, let's be honest, powers a huge chunk of the internet. So, how did he do it? It was actually a pretty standard process. He guided the AI through a typical security workflow. They set up a test environment and started fuzzing, where you just bombard a system with tons of weird, messy, malformed data to see if you can break it. And right in the middle of all that, the AI piped up and flagged some really unexpected behavior, which it turns out was a brand new, never-before-seen vulnerability. And here's the kicker. The whole thing, from starting the investigation to finding a totally new vulnerability in a major piece of software, took just 1 week. 1 week! That is an unbelievable speed up. I mean, it points to a future where security teams could find and patch holes before the bad guys even know they exist. That could totally flip the script on cyber defense. But, and this is the big but, isn't it? This leads us to the critical question. A tool that's this good at finding security flaws is amazing for the good guys. But what happens when it gets into the wrong hands? This is the classic dual-use problem. It's a double-edged sword. The exact same power that helps a defender find and patch a vulnerability faster than ever can also be used by an attacker to find and exploit that very same vulnerability. So how do you possibly release a tool this powerful into the world responsibly? Well, that brings us to the rollout plan, which is frankly just as important as the tech itself. The whole idea here is to walk a really fine line. You want to get this tool to the people who can use it for good, but you absolutely have to put up guardrails to prevent it from being misused. So they're not just flipping a switch and releasing it to everyone. It's a very cautious, step-by-step process. So let's walk through the strategy. First, it's a gradual release, starting right now for paid ChatGPT users. Access through the API is coming in the next few weeks. And of course, there are built-in safeguards, and they're working closely with the security community. But the thing I want you to pay attention to is this new Trusted Access pilot program. So this pilot program is exactly what it sounds like. It's invite-only. The whole point is to give carefully vetted, trusted security pros, people with a proven track record, access to the absolute most powerful versions of these models. The goal? Let them use it for defensive work. It's all about arming the defenders first. So at the end of the day, GPT-5.2 Codex is a massive step forward for AI in the real world, no doubt about it. But it also perfectly captures the huge challenge we're all facing. As the power of these AI systems accelerates at this incredible rate, the big question we're left with is, can safety keep up?